Every DDJ-FLX4 owner is going to want to know these hidden secret features within their controller. This is for Rekordbox, however, if you're a Serato user, don't worry, we've got a special treat for you in the description. You're going to want to stick around till the end, everyone, because the bonus tip is amazing. Did you know that on the DDJ-FLX4 you can swap out this control from being a filter to any of the other sound color effects found on the DJ and mixers by Pioneer DJ? Maybe you don't want to use the filter or want to practice with some of the other features. Then all we need to do is go to the Rekordbox gear icon, go to View, scroll down, and you'll find here Effect Panel. You want to select Beat Effects and Sound Color Effects. Then if we X off that and go to the Effects tab here, we can see the CFX, which stands for Color Effects there. We can choose it to user preference and we can swap it out for any of these, which are all found on the DJM mixer. So you can practice, even if you don't have the expensive Pioneer DJ gear at home, you can practice with some of these other effects, such as the noise, for example. We then select it, turn it on here, and then have a listen. When you're done with it, remember to go back to default. Did you know there are hidden parameter controls within the DDJ-FLX4? It's all good and well having various performance pads such as keyboard mode or beat jump mode, but we can only access the 8 different options. Now in these modes, there are different pages as shown by these arrows here on the screen. However, if we hold shift, we can use these bottom 2 pads, 7 and 8, to toggle between the different pages, especially when in beat jump mode, it's very useful. And in keyboard mode, for example, we can go up and down the different pitches and access those different pages there. Very useful, but tucked away. There are 2 hidden effect features that I want to bring your attention to. First of all, in pad effects, we can add a release effect. So here, we can go to the gear icon and choose any of these options. I've got it set as this last one here. In the drop down, choose release effect, and then echo is probably the most popular. You can choose how long you want the echo to be, let's say 3/4, and then you can toggle whether you want it to be a hold on and off or not. So if I were to go back off here, you can see I can tap this on and off and it will hold a 3/4 echo. Have a listen. That's really useful for finishing your mix. It means that you can have other effects set up on the beat effects and always access your echo out right here. There's one more thing I want to bring your attention to with release effects. It's also featured on the beat effects channel. So you could combine some effects. Let's say we're in the middle of a build up and we're using the trans effect. I can then hold shift and then hold down the on off button. And I get that echo out. And then when I release, it comes back in and it's turned the effect off, which is really important. You can adjust these in this section of the effects panel here. We've got an echo, a vinyl break, or a backspin. So for example, we could have a backspin at 1 beat. Let's do the exact same technique again. And there we have it. In the description below, there's a sneak peek inside our DDJ-FLX4 Pro course where you can learn all about the hidden features of looping and how to use them in the mix. Go check it out. A common accident a lot of new DJs have is when nudging their tracks, they might accidentally touch the top of the jog wheel. And as standard, the DDJ-FLX4 has vinyl mode activated, so you can scrub through the track even when it's playing. But you can also turn this off, just like on CDJs, so that it acts as a nudge feature. However, there isn't a dedicated button for it on the controller, so let's dive into the settings of Rekordbox. If we click the gear icon and go to keyboard, I'm on Performance 1 preset here. If you open Deck 1, you can see that vinyl mode is assigned to Command and V, and in Deck 2, it's assigned to Option and V. So now, if we want to turn that on or off, if I press Command and V, you can see that this now doesn't scratch the track, but it will nudge the track faster or slower. That acts the same as on the edge. Again, on the right hand side, you could press Option and V and toggle it on and off. It's something worth knowing because a lot of DJs might want to turn this feature off, but there isn't an obvious way to do it on the DDJ-FLX4. As a side note, you'll know if this is turned on or off because there's a blue ring around this deck display here. As I toggle it on and off, you'll see it appears and disappears. The The Smart Fader is a unique feature on the DDJ-FLX4, and it's really good for mixing between genres. However, there are some options to be aware of and settings that are hidden away. First of all, just to recap what it does, we can turn it on, activate the opposite side, and then make a transition. Both tracks will change BPM to the next value, and it will apply an effect at the end. Before it comes in. However, there are some settings to change how this responds. So if we go to the gear icon, go to controller and then the mixer tab and scroll to the bottom, you'll see the Smart Fader options here. And we can choose whether the Smart Fader works with the Crossfader, all the Crossfader and channel faders, which is really useful, or just with the channel fader if you don't use the Crossfader. You can also choose to use the recommended Smart Fader curve, which means if you want to use your Crossfader for cutting, you can then turn this off and it will act as a mixing control when Smart Fader is turned on. So there are a few options to be aware of there. If you want to see a really pro level trick used with the Smart Fader, then make sure to check out our DDJ-FLX4 Pro course, where we talk about how to use the cutting technique and the Smart Fader at the same time to create a unique transition. Okay, I promised an awesome bonus tip at the end. Well, on the DDJ-FLX4, we can access track separation, also known as stems, but it's not as easy as just pressing a button. As you can see here, I've got stems active, so I can turn different parts of the track on and off, remove the vocal, remove the instruments, remove the drums, just have the vocal, and I can toggle them on and off here. In this next video, you can find out how to set this up for yourself and even download a free MIDI mapping so you can just install it on your DDJ-FLX4. Remember to check out our beginner to pro DDJ-FLX4 bundle where you can learn everything from unboxing your controller right up to pro level transitions. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon.